I wasted 41 years, and I didn't realize it until my wife's last words. That's not something you ever expect to say about your own life. You go through the motions, day after day, thinking you're doing everything right, working hard, providing, keeping the wheels turning. You tell yourself there will always be more time to talk, to laugh, to really see the person sitting across from you at the dinner table. But the truth is, most people don't realize what they've lost until it's gone. I was one of those people. I thought I understood what mattered. I thought love was about showing up, about being there in the practical ways. I thought there would always be another tomorrow to say the things I kept inside. But life has a way of teaching you the hardest lessons when you least expect it. And sometimes it's only in the final moments that the truth finally breaks through. If you're listening to this, I want you to know you have a chance right now that I no longer have. You can choose to see what's in front of you before it becomes a memory. You can choose to say what needs to be said, to hold on a little tighter, to live with intention instead of assumption. Don't wait for a wake-up call that comes too late. My wife's last words changed everything for me. I hope my story can change something for you before it's too late. When I look back on our 41 years together, it's almost as if I'm watching someone else's life play out in slow motion. In the beginning, everything felt new and electric. We were young, full of hope, and convinced that love alone would carry us through anything. I thought marriage was about building a life, buying a house, raising kids, paying bills, and making sure there was food on the table. I thought if I worked hard and provided, I was doing my part. That was my definition of love: steady, reliable, unspoken. But as the years passed, routine quietly crept in. We settled into patterns: morning coffee, quick kisses goodbye, evenings spent in front of the television, each of us lost in our own thoughts. The conversations that once lasted for hours became shorter, more practical. We talked about schedules, chores, and the kids, but rarely about dreams or fears. I told myself this was normal, that this was what marriage looked like after decades together. I thought comfort was the reward for all those years of effort. What I didn't see was the slow drift happening between us, the little moments I let slip by, the words I left unspoken, the times I chose distraction over connection. I thought marriage was about endurance, about weathering storms and sticking it out. But now I realize what it should have been: a daily choice to see each other, to listen, to reach out even when it felt easier to retreat. It should have been about nurturing the spark, not just keeping the fire from going out. Time has a way of slipping by unnoticed. One day you're planning your future together, and the next you're looking back, wondering where all those years went. I didn't notice the distance growing until it felt too wide to cross. I thought we had forever. I thought there would always be more time. But forever is just a word, and time is always running out, whether you see it or not. The final days crept in quietly, almost as if they were trying not to disturb the fragile peace we'd built over the years. My wife's illness didn't arrive with a crash. It was more like a slow, relentless tide, pulling her further away from me with each passing day. At first, it was just fatigue, a cough that lingered too long, a doctor's appointment we both brushed off. But then came the diagnosis, the hospital visits, the endless tests and waiting rooms filled with the sterile smell of antiseptic and the low hum of worry. I remember sitting by her bedside, watching the way the sunlight filtered through the blinds, casting stripes across her face. She looked so small in that hospital bed, her hands pale and thin, her eyes still searching for something, maybe comfort, maybe reassurance, maybe just a sign that I was really there. I wanted to say so much, but the words caught in my throat. I told myself there would be time, that I'd find the right moment to say everything I'd left unsaid. But the days blurred together, and the right moment never seemed to come. We talked about the practical things, medications, appointments, who would feed the cat, but the deeper conversations, the ones about fear and love and regret, stayed locked inside. I could see the questions in her eyes, the longing for connection, but I was afraid of saying the wrong thing, of making her pain worse, of facing the truth that our time was running out. There were so many things left undone. I never took her on that trip she always dreamed of. I never wrote her the letter I promised. I never told her how much I admired her strength, how grateful I was for her patience, how sorry I was for all the times I chose work or distraction over her. I thought I had more time to make it right. As her body grew weaker, the silence between us grew heavier. I sat there, holding her hand, wishing I could turn the clock back, desperate for one more chance to say what mattered. But time, once lost, is never returned. And in those final days, I realized just how much I'd left unsaid and how much I'd taken for granted. It was a quiet morning, the kind that feels suspended in time, as if the world itself is holding its breath. The hospital room was filled with the soft beeping of machines and the faint scent of flowers someone had left on the windowsill. I sat beside her, my hand wrapped around hers, feeling the frailty of her fingers, the warmth slowly fading. I remember watching her chest rise and fall, each breath a little shallower than the last, and thinking irrationally that if I just held on tight enough, I could keep her here. She turned her head towards me, her eyes searching my face with a clarity that startled me. For a moment, it was as if the years melted away, and I saw the woman I fell in love with, the woman who had shared my life, my dreams, my disappointments. Her lips trembled, and I leaned in, desperate not to miss a single word. She whispered, "I wish we had talked more. I wish we hadn't let the little things get in the way." Her voice was barely more than a breath, but it cut through me like a knife. "I always loved you, even when you didn't see it. I just wanted you to see me, really see me." I felt my heart shatter in that moment. All the years of routine, all the days I'd let slip by, all the times I'd chosen silence over vulnerability that crashed down on me with unbearable weight. I wanted to tell her everything I'd kept inside, to pour out my love, my gratitude, my regret, but the words tangled in my throat, and all I could do was hold her hand and weep. She squeezed my hand, her grip surprisingly strong for someone so weak. She said, "Promise me you won't waste any more time. Promise me you'll live, really live." You never know when it's the last time you'll hear someone's voice, the last time you'll see their smile, the last time you'll have the chance to say what matters. I thought we had more time. I thought there would always be another day. But in that moment, I realized how precious and fleeting it all is. Her last words changed everything for me. After she was gone, the world felt hollow, as if the color had drained from everything I once knew. I wandered through our house, touching the things she'd left behind, a scarf draped over a chair, her favorite mug on the kitchen counter, the faint scent of her perfume lingering in the hallway. Each object was a reminder, not just of her absence, but of all the moments I'd let slip by unnoticed. The silence was deafening, filled with all the words I never said. It hit me with a force I couldn't have imagined. All the things I thought mattered, career milestones, financial security, keeping up with the demands of daily life, suddenly seemed so small, so insignificant. I'd spent years chasing promotions, worrying about bills, making sure everything ran smoothly. I thought being a good provider was enough, that love was something you showed by doing, not by saying or feeling. I thought I was building a legacy, but I was really just building walls. What actually mattered were the things I'd overlooked, the quiet conversations at midnight, the laughter we shared over inside jokes, the comfort of her hand in mine after a long day. The moments when I could have chosen to listen instead of rushing off, to hold her a little longer instead of moving on to the next task. I realized I'd traded connection for convenience, presence for productivity. The pain of that realization was sharper than any grief I'd ever known. It wasn't just the loss of my wife, it was the loss of all the time I could never get back, all the chances I'd missed to truly know her, to let her know me. I saw with heartbreaking clarity that love isn't measured in years or grand gestures, but in the small, everyday choices to be present,
to be open, to be real. And I understood, too late, that those were the only things that ever truly mattered. Regret is a heavy thing. It settles in your chest and makes it hard to breathe, especially in the quiet hours of the night when there's nothing left to distract you. My biggest regret isn't just that my wife is gone. It's that I wasted so much of the time we had together. I see it now, in painful detail, all the opportunities I let slip through my fingers. I remember the evenings when she'd ask me to take a walk with her after dinner. I'd glance at my phone, distracted by work emails or the news, and tell her I was too tired. Maybe tomorrow, I'd say, not realizing how quickly those tomorrows would run out. She'd smile and say she understood, but I can still see the disappointment in her eyes, the way her shoulders would slump just a little.